be like me. You can't ride the wave, can't catch the drift. You'll catch the fade. You can't be like me. Just stay in your place. You can't be like me. No, you can't be like me. You can't ride the wave, can't catch the drift. You'll catch the fade. You can't be like me.
I want to get into music. You know, why music? And then why hip hop?
I think it's always just been in my family. Like, you know what I mean? My uncle was in a group. I had cousins that were in groups, dancing. I had no rhythm back in the day, dog. So it was like, yo, I got to figure something else out because they was not letting me in the dance group. You feel me? So me and my cousin, we started writing. And, you know, the first song that we wrote to, I think, was like I want to say a Big Daddy Kane joint.
Oh, so you were young.
Yeah, like 9 when I wrote my first rap to be officially, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Cool, man. Everybody knows Cool. Shout out to that, man. He's the one that basically had me doing my lyrical exercises, freestyling, doing all that to get to the point to where I could write freely just from my thought process. So, you know, again, humble beginnings, but they definitely brought me to where I am. So I'm very happy for that, man.
Definitely, you know, so... You know, especially though with hip hop, because, you know, you have a lot of people. Oh, big shout out, 50 years of hip hop. Shout out. You know, and I'm glad we're talking about hip hop because obviously, let's be honest, when it comes to Boston, it comes to New England, you shed a lot of light on these stages. Like, I want to talk about that now. We're still staying on your humble beginnings because this is part of your humble beginnings.
True. Yeah, I really want to talk about, shout out to Zulu Nation too. And I know that's a random to a lot of people where you're like, why does that associate with you? That's basically New York based and stuff like that. Although there are a lot of chapters for Boston too. But shout out to DJ Power. He put me on, and I rock stages from Gramercy Theater to, you know, the Harlem Apollo, like just different places that I never would have been able to touch the stage had it not been for those people, those icons. And it was like he basically just pushed me out there like, yo, y'all don't know who this is. She's coming in with a full freaking band, like doing it different than what people might have been used to. But people embraced that, and I think that's what brought me into my confidence, is having people like that. And when you say a name like Zulu Nation, you know what I mean, that catches people's attention. That's why I wanted to make sure I said it in light of, you know, the 50 years of hip hop.
Paying homage.
That was part of me, yeah, man. Sharing stages with Africa Bambaataa and like different people that, like, you know, I really only dreamt about sharing the stage with, you know, rocking with them at SOBs, real big venues that, like, you can't take that away from somebody. That's part of my history. So I think that's what brought, again, me into my confidence to be able to go into my own now and to be able to fully embrace myself as an artist. So
see what I'm saying? Like, even with the humble beginnings, y'all need to pay attention. Y'all need to pick up what she's putting down, because just to even start off on that level, a lot of people can't say that. You know what I mean? Humble beginnings, man. That's deep.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and shout out to my boy Mark Maron. That's random as well, but it comes all back full circle. I have a new project coming out, and that was one of the first people that I, you know, rapped with and wrote with and really just vibed with back when we were on our compound wave. And I think that was another very important part of history. That was like the early 2000s when Launchpad first dropped. Like, we were one of the first artists on that. So I think that's important to see how people paved the way and now are still being able to not only pay homage, but being able to have homage paid to them because of what they've done.
Especially in this new generation.
Yeah, because it's different. And I mean, it's crazy to be able to be, I feel like, on the edge or the verge of two different eras. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've rocked over Big Daddy Kane, but I've also spit over Lil Uzi. Like, I can do whatever is necessary to bring it
versatile
together. Yeah, and that's important. And that's, again, humble beginnings. That's what brings you back. You know what I mean? Being able to have different aspects of your life that basically are shaping your career.
I love how you said that, because a lot of people, they get the artistry mixed up in the same thing as though the business. You know what I mean? Those are two different situations. Can you please, like, reiterate on what you just said, because that was deep, and they gotta hear about this. Y'all need to stop fucking the game up. But listen, man.
No, that's some real shit. I like how you said that. It's definitely a difference. I mean, it is a hobby. It is something that you do to, you know, better and further yourself and to release stress, to do different things, to better yourself personally. But ultimately, you're in this to make money. And people that say they're not, they're lying to themselves. Because how are you supporting your career? I'm not a trust fund baby. I don't got nothing that's coming in if I don't put nothing out. So it's like Andre 3000 said, baby, I can't afford to not record. Like, that's really some real shit.
That's my song.
I'm telling you,
I know exactly what song you're talking about. You talking about the one with Snoop.
That you're the one.
Okay, no, that wasn't the one. No, wait, hold on. That wasn't the one. Hold on. That is Prototype.
You can Google that, but you know what I'm saying? I be fucking stuff up sometimes, but I believe.
Me too.
I believe that's the one, doggy.
I thought it was the one with Snoop.
Oh, which one?
The one he did, it was quite a few years back, but it was him, Snoop, and the other dude. It was 3 of them, but that line is what he said.
Yeah, he probably said it a few times because that was a fucking jewel.
It was a jewel.
Right there. It really was. It really was, man. That's why I think it sticks with me, you know?
So who were some of your, even during, your humble beginnings, like who were some of your influences that you're like, yo, like this is they gotta continue to influence me to do what I do?
Honestly, shout out to Andre 3000. That was one of the people that I definitely could listen to and learn from. I think even before him, it was the Lauryn Hills for me because of the fact that she was mixing the singing with the bars. Like, you know what I mean? It was a very equal mix, and she carried both very well. So I've always been a huge fan and follower of her work, for obvious reasons. There's so many people. Jay-Z, I think, has always been a mogul to me. We got the opportunity when we were younger to meet him, and like I was the only one that was super soft about it. Like I feel like I was the only one that was crying and shit. You know what I mean? It was just a moment for me, and everybody else was like, "Yeah, what up?" I'm like, "Yo, let me give me." He was just like, "Yo, give me a hug and shit," because he knew he could just see it in my face. Like that was just a moment, and I forget. It sucks that I forget, but I forget exactly what he said to me. But it was something along the lines of like he could tell that I had the passion to get it done.
He saw something in you.
Yeah, and that's that was Hard Knock Life Jay-Z. That ain't fucking the $1 billion mogul Jay-Z. So I think back then it meant even a little bit more because he was still on his come up.
And you know what's funny? You said that because that's the always in Boston Jay-Z.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, shout out to Rusty, man. Shout out to Funky Fresh. We ain't gonna forget that ain't no fucking computer store. I don't care what they told you. Nah, shout out to Funky Fresh though, just because that's where I'm time, and they actually had a pretty big influence in my career as well, bringing it all back to the humble beginnings. So
yeah, shout out to Rusty, man. Shout out to he's a pioneer, man. I mean, we gotta give him his flowers
forever. Yeah, man. He in the 50 years of hip hop deep. He in that deep, man.
How much time did you ever spend in the store?
Oh man. Yo, I got my first stupid ass tattoo.
Wait, in the basement?
Put you out there. Why did y'all let him? We was like, yo, we got the matching joints, yo, on some last Girl Scouts. It ain't too many people that's gonna know what that is, but like, yo, we was there. We worked there. We was the people in the middle of the island passing out the flyers for our shows. We were in there deep. We were in there deep. I tell you, I ain't paid for a mixtape. I tell you that. Nah. We had all the clues, yo. Oh, come on, man. Do remember. Shit, y'all.
See what I'm saying, man? This is what it is, man.
This is Boston right here.
Well, honestly, it is Boston, but guess what? You are not just Boston.
That is very
I'm a put that out. I'm confirming this.
Yeah, yo, many roots in many places. I've set foot in many places and had an effect musically in many places, which I'm very proud of. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we can definitely get into that a little deeper, but
let's talk about it.
I mean, shout out to New York City. I was living on 127th in Madison for a little while. I was off in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying, in the Crown Heights area, a couple areas. Again, that's where I met DJ Power. I actually met DJ Power from roasting this nigga freestyle battle in the middle of Harlem, no bullshit, and he just happened to be there, and he was just like, who the fuck are you? Like, I'm about to take you under my wing, and that's exactly what he did. It was a battle. I don't remember that man's name, but if you remember that, like, shout out to you, man, because we was going back at it. But
see, can we touch bases on that too? Because a lot of people, they kind of knew that you battled. Because it didn't project. However, but you was killing people. But you were killing people.
And
You were killing people.
that. I feel like at that point I had emerged into something different.
She was killing people.
But yeah, back then that was how we were brought up. So it was a natural thing. It was like, okay, if somebody challenges you to that, you don't turn that down regardless. So it just happened to be that I had so much shit in my brain at that point. There was no way I was off of anything. Like I was just boom, 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 boom. Anytime he stopped, I was there. Anytime it was, and I feel like that's what made me get embraced in New York, for real. Because once you're embraced by somebody that has a following like that, it's like pretty much you get to speak for yourself. I was performing everywhere.
Especially being from Boston, that's hard.
Exactly. Like a lot of people at first will give you the stank face because it's like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I always got embraced. And I think part of that was that love that I proved myself. I spoke for myself. And I feel like I do that in a lot of cases, but I think that's what brought me love in New York. So shout out to New York. They definitely showed me love while I was out there. Shout out to VA. I actually stepped back from music. I wouldn't say step back because again, I was working down in VA, but I went to Norfolk State University. And for about 5 years, I was living in Virginia. And I got a pretty serious following down there as well, and established a network down there too. That I thought was pretty important at that time because I was down there for school. I graduated, got the communications degree. I was working on a radio down there and everything. Shout out to Hot 91.1. That was a good thing. But
that's a iHeart Clear channel.
Yeah, yo, we were getting it was what I believe it was like. I don't want to misquote, but something like 15,000 every quarter hour or something as far as listenership. And I had
big
a night show, so it was good for me too. I was sneaking my shit on everyone. You know, it was good. It was good, man. Yeah. So, you know, shout out to Mr. Perry too for believing in me because I straight up walked in his office like, "Hi, I just want to do this." Yeah. Like I don't have no experience. It's like people waiting outside in a line to do that shit, but something again, I think he saw in me was like, "Nah, I'm gonna give you this platform. Do what you can do with it." And we definitely did what we can do down there. So shout out to everybody in Virginia at Norfolk State. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Albie too, because that's his alma mater too. You know what I mean? So
can I speak on him?
Of course you can, man.
Albie, you know I gotta show you love, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but love, man. That man, come on. Albie?
Yo, Albie? Cheddar DVD, since we talking about humble beginnings. We cannot talk about humble beginnings without talking about Cheddar DVD right now. So shout out to Albie and Cheddar and how much he's grown. And I don't know where that man's at right now in the world, but somewhere.
I know where he is.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
That's my guy. And guess what? This is your girl. Hands down. You feel me? Like, yo, shout out to you, man. Albie, you're doing big things, man. Got to keep showing you love, you know, but it ain't about me.
That's another person that's a big part of that, though, to be very honest. You know what I mean? You know, he made sure that I was always looked out for, too. So I appreciate that as well, you know?
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, and California, too. I was working with a guy out. 22 Track Productions was the name of his establishment at the time. And I was out in California for a long time in the early 2000s as well, like doing some work out there. So I established a pretty big following out there as well. Shout out to everybody out in LA. That was a cool experience. Did a couple of videos out there too with one of my mans out there that was doing work with the bar group. So I just have so many like really important connections that I'm just happy that I made, man. And I'm sure I'm missing a million people, you know, in between. But those are just the states that stand out to me right now that I feel like, you know, I've had a huge success and following in. And internationally too as well. You know, when you're seeing your BDS spins, it's cool to see that niggas in Japan like your shit. It's like, what? Do y'all even know what I'm? Nah, but they like your vibe. They like what you want. So something's working. And that's always a cool experience too, man.
Well, see, a lot of people can't say that. I mean, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like, your humble beginnings, up and coming, doing things that, let's be honest, established artists are doing. And some of them really can't hold on to. You were doing it. Right. You started that lane. You get what I mean? Like, let's talk about that, going now from your humble beginnings now to where you are now. You know what I mean? And how you're able to move in that direction and stay in your lane while still remaining successful.
Right. I mean, I think the thing I did was not stay in my lane. And that can be a good and a bad thing. I think at a turning point where I was doing the songs that I was writing for others, and then it ended up being songs that I ended up performing that were more pop sounding, were more crossover.
You can sing your ass off.
I got a little bit of something in me, and I can write my ass off too, and I think that's what's important. Sometimes I was writing beyond what I even thought I was capable of. So it was like, yo, why are you selling this song? Like, sing this song, do this song. So in a way, I'm happy that pushed me outside of my comfort zone, because I made the most money I ever made off of Be Myself, the Fat Man Scoop joint. Sorry.
That joint was fire.
I feel the way they want to feel about that, but you know.
That joint was fire.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Because a lot of people feel like that was something where my producer Googled some shit like, do Fat Man Scoop riffs. No, nigga, he sat and wrote that shit for me. You can't find anything that he said on that song on the internet as a thing that you can use as like a party sample. That was my song. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important to note. That was a huge success for me back in 2011, 2010, 2011.
I just know that when that song came out, it was just like, it touched Boston, New York, Philly, Chicago, Virginia. But it stretched out. The BTS's was crazy.
Hey,
Can you?
Yo, I had a lot of fun with that one. I really did. And even though I was afraid to do it, and my thing was, a lot of people don't know this, but I refused to do that song unless they let me do that 16. Like, if y'all don't let me spit on this, I'm not doing this, because I need to have some aspect of myself that makes me feel like 100% myself. So that's where that verse came from. That shit was hard too. I love that, just that versatility in that song too, because it is a very poppy song. It has, it has a pop feel, but I still gave you bars. I still gave you bars as usual. Yeah.
So now, like, you having that under your belt, you having so much success under your belt. What I want to get into now is, what you have coming up. You know what I mean? Your campaign. I definitely got to get that out, because y'all need to understand her upcoming project, official, going down.
Listen.
You already know. We gonna help push that bitch. Believe that.
I don't get excited about nothing really.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Yo, I'm telling you, the campaign is.
I'm like a kid in the candy store right now.
Yo, because it's like that for me. That's how I feel, and I don't often feel like that about like music. It's hard to impress me, even with myself. I'm very hard on myself, but I really am proud of this project. The project is called Higher. The title track is featuring Mark Maron. It's produced by, why am I drawing a blank right now? Hold on, you got to know who this is. This is Cloud9. Yes, this is Cloud9, yo. I think like maybe 3 out of the 7 of my songs are Cloud9. So forgive me for blanking on that, because this is my man 50 Grand too. He got beats for days. Go on cloud9.com if you're an artist, excuse me, because I really think you're gonna find something you like on there. But don't try to steal none of my flavor or nothing. But I'm just saying, I'm just giving y'all a little bit of jewels. If you're looking for some, he got some heat for you. So that's what it is. And the campaign, the new wave, something that I really do want to talk to y'all about. Become the plug. Okay, that's my new slogan. Become the plug. Become the plug. I want to push that into everyone's brain. I want people to remember that. What does that mean? It's like a motivation for somebody that's waiting on someone else to do something for you. It's like, I don't give a hell if we talk about the weed man. I don't care if we talk about, somebody to babysit your kids. I don't care what it is that you're looking to do, what business you're looking to start, what goal you're looking to achieve. Become the plug. Become that person. Take out the middleman in your life and become the plug. So that is my campaign, along with the Higher project. It's an EP that's coming out. I got major producers. I got instrumentals on there. Shout out to my man Pat G. He's featured on there as well on a track I got. Oh, it's gonna be so crazy. Y'all are gonna love that. So I got some jewels for you. Shout out to Amanda Shea. She's on that doing some spoken word as well. So I got 3 power features on there I'm really excited about as well. And that's the campaign, man. I got something coming for y'all.
So you ready to take it on tour?
Oh man, it's about to go crazy. I'm ready to perform again, because a lot of these tracks I got coming, they're performance songs, and I didn't even really come to that conclusion. A lot of people around me that I trust and I confide in came to that conclusion. Like, yo, you are gonna really kill this on stage. So
I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people that I spoke to, I saw you live. Like, your music is hitting. But can I be honest with you? When you're in the studio your energy's crazy. But when you're on stage, you're a whole totally different energy. It's like you're not that same person that was in that studio. It's like you come alive times 100. Like, how are you able to transition that?
Oh, that's my sweet spot. The stage is my sweet spot. I think, you know, as time progresses, you got to kind of ease up and slow down. I got to pace myself a little more because I just used to come on there and
Animal.
it all to the point where I'm like falling off the stage after, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't, we ain't doing all that these days. We're not doing it like that. Like, it ain't church Boston days. Okay? We're not doing it like that where we jumping off the stage going crazy, but we might, you know what I'm saying? We might give you that every once in a while, but I'm definitely going to always remain passionate, and the most passion, I feel like I release the most energy and creative artist energy when I'm on stage, because it's just like, that's where it happens. That's where everything gets released. And I don't know, it's just my sweet spot, man. It's where
You think it's therapeutic for you?
it definitely is, 1,000%. I think not only is it therapeutic, but it's needed. Like, if you want to call yourself an artist, that is something you need to master. That's something you can't be afraid of, and it's something that you have to be passionate about. And when you think about it, a lot of artists say that's where they make their money. And we all know that to be true. Like, you get the spins, you get whatever, but performing is definitely where you make the most money. So if you can master that, I think you'll definitely get something going, man. That's how you get a good following.
I totally agree. Now, my next question to you is, where do you see yourself in 2 to 5 years with your music?
With my music, you know what? I really don't want to say. I want to just let life take its turns and see where it leads me. I do want to definitely get into more writing. I'm working for Spotify right now and being a curator for their playlists. That's been huge. It's been introducing me to new artists, and I definitely would like to get a few artists under my belt if I could, you know, and start to help others that are coming up underneath me. That would be real cool, because like I said, man,
Paying it forward.
stage, yeah, man, that takes a lot out of you, and sometimes it would be great to see, you know, another artist shine that you've believed in and put on. So I definitely see myself moving more into the managerial position in the near future as well, man.
Well, you're already doing it. Come on, let's keep it 2023%. For some odd reason, even though you're a dope ass artist, her managerial skills kicks in before she hits the stage, gets in the studio. She's bop, 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 bop. This is how they... Am I lying?
No, that's facts. That's facts. You gotta line.
I'm telling you.
You gotta line your ducks. You gotta know what's what.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that comes along with the territory with experience too. It's like shit. Stuff's. I've been going through stuff for so long. I kind of know how to play it. I kind of know what pieces go where, like you were talking about earlier. So it you know, it all rounds back off. Humble beginnings.
And you're very seasoned. And you're very humble.
Yo, I appreciate that. You gotta be. That's another thing I think a lot of people forget sometimes, man.
Sometimes you got to come back and, what they say, remind them.
Full circle sometimes for them.
And she's doing a damn good job. Y'all better pick up what she's putting down, man.
Hey, man, higher. We're coming at you. I'm telling you, this project is gonna be crazy. I'm talking about no skips. I'm talking about no skips on this.
No skips.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna love it. Yo, I appreciate you having me, Lenny.
I appreciate you having, we ain't shit without you.
I gotta share my platform always, and I appreciate you sharing yours, man.
Yo, she gonna make me cry, man. And I ain't no, y'all, listen, man. I told y'all, I told y'all, and I say this humbly, we don't just interview anybody, but when we do, this is the reason why right here. That loyalty, that respect, that honesty, that support. Come on, it gets no better than this. And real talk, man, y'all better go check out Aya. She is killing it. And for everybody out there, please let them know your social media where they can find you.
Yes, sir. Yo, so the Instagram is Really Aya. So that's at Really Aya. I got a TikTok page. It's Iyadonna 2023. I'm going to be doing my podcast and setting that off on TikTok. So if you want to catch the TikTok, I'll be going live doing that, and I will announce more about that in the very near future. But yeah, keep your ear to the streets as far as that. Reese Thompson, you know, Iyadonna, all that on the Facebook. If you'd like to add to my fan page, please do so. I'm going to post all my shows and my upcoming projects. And please download that project when it drops. It's higher. That's what we doing. We going higher, and it's gonna be crazy. Yo, also, hold on. Grand Scales is on that too. He produced a song on that too. So I want to shout out Grand Scales. I appreciate what he did for me too on this project. And I'm gonna check out Easy Street. Get all that mixed down real special for y'all. So I got a lot coming, y'all. Be ready. Keep your ear to the streets, man. It's Dyme Magazine.
I'm lost for words because didn't I tell y'all her managerial kicks in? I'm supposed to be doing all that, but she done did it. I told y'all, man, pay attention. Pick up what she's putting down, man. Aya in the building. Legendary. Killing the game. Like we said, this is... Say that one more time.
3's up. Forever.
All day, every day.
You know that.
That's what it is, man. It's your boy Lenny rocking with your girl Aya, legendary, making it happen. You already know what it is, man. Dyme Magazine, we out of here, y'all. Peace.
I'm mixing the potion like scientists. I'm a product of my environment. Yo, they think they know you. Shit can get ugly.